his radiant grin furthering the offering. A charmed Tailor the Mender compliments John's vibrant lyrics. You could write Ocean Child's name on the wall 100 times. There's not a lawmaker around that would be disappointed. They wouldn't just see but feel how incredibly in love you are when putting her name on display high above where we currently stand. This is a brilliant cut, John mutters with acceptance, without putting forth the effort of easing toward a poetic transformation. I'd laugh out loud with great joy, but fear that it might startle the billion dogs out for an hour on an extremely enjoyable stroll. I can't imagine being one of them. No wonder they pass this place of bearing 100 circles. Their eyes have shaped their cages into nothing more than a square box. Like me, they must see a continuation. The circle gives off hope, faith, and reason to believe that tomorrow, or even later today, they'll be free again. And again. That's what happens in a circle. You relive, and each time you live life, it's better. Concluding how complicated it would be to cut back on laughter, Tailor the Mender grows toward John's circle. I've always believed a dog's life is beyond the caretaker. Once there's departure, a dog is free to enjoy a fine brandy, glass of well-crafted red wine, or 2 soothing sips of bourbon. This while stationed in front of a flat-screen TV, surfacing through 800 channels of nothing to bark at. When the private party of one becomes too large and too loud, quickly the water rises over in potty puddles locked inside blocks of plastic. Tempted to persuade Tailor the Mender to good-naturedly grab a strutting English bulldog, then sprinting away to enjoy a playdate, John brings to an immediate standstill a reluctance to be so astoundingly unbolted. His gray, well-groomed jacket chunkier than the day before. John descends into a rational corner. To hide, superficial, is eccentric behavior. Therefore, he fears it may press him toward an event or actuality that time might steal before touching a painted horizon. By way of defeating the artist's gaffe, John reverts to jaggedly leaning left to hook and then pull in the aroma of fresh New York bagels, pumping volumes of suggestion across the birth of a potential new sound. Might I ask of the proper ingredients you've poured into my head? John jests without introducing himself or Tailor the Mender. Puzzled, resentfully exhausted from having to hire himself before the moon bathed in the Hudson, the wit of the street-side baker submits no motive to follow along. Why you gotta go there? You a health freak? With granted permission, John steps between the bagel man and his next customer. People accuse me constantly of changing their life. Today, I give that burden away. Boastful and overflowing with good nature, the bagel man acts in response. Yeah? How's that going to lower the cost of flour and eggs? It doesn't matter. Placing the trophy on the mantel gives good reason to take down the photograph of your mother-in-law. Tailor the Mender chuckles. What are you trying to do, wreck my kid's Christmas? Only when she starts dropping dollar bills in Hallmark cards. Until then, my little girl's got her grandmother wrapped around her finger. John's distance in paying attention, being 3/4 of an inch short of the conversation at hand, ruptures the line. Have you ever been to the Church of Transfiguration near Worth and Mulberry Street? Too far by foot. The bagel man's fleeting counter. You and the new guy won't make it back by dark. This man? I don't know his name, nor the day we played. Being younger than I'm glad he's decided to guide. John prolongs his justification, utterly cutting short all bagel sales. Disregarding the description, Tailor the Mender verbally rolls forward. It'll only take longer if what you put in your street candy participates with the improper ingredients that make 2 men of our age go and go. That in itself would make this day much slower. What's down there you think you gotta have? The bagel man exhibits a restricted, compassionate side of his otherwise insensitive qualities. The both of you will think you're doing fine. Before you know it, it'll be night, and I'll be reading about you in the paper tomorrow. Get a taxi. John gushes into outrageous joyfulness, not because the bagel man was being comical, but it had been too long of a wait for him to distinguish the variations of uncaringly caring. It tickled him to observe a street actor on parade. What is a cab ride to a pair like us? Tailor stirs into the bagel batter. Instantly, will be followed by massive amounts of hornblowers blasting flashes of light into the innocent cabbie's face. Honestly, we've grown tired of being a standout. So we walk. John attentively merges into the vindication. When I walk, I tend to dance. Not because there's music on the street. I hear it in my head. Without argument, the rest of me follows along, as if to be an orchestra.